Gdje završavamo mi, a počinje svijet? Koliko doista ispoljujemo svoju autentičnu bit, a koliko robujemo svakojakim programima i uvjerenjima, koji nas više iscrpljuju nego usrećuju? A upravo je osjećaj sreće onaj koji stanice našeg tijela toliko vole, kao i svi sastavni dijelovi nas. Jer postoji povratna sprega duha i tijela. Jedno se održava u drugom, a tijekom povijesti bilo je puno pokušaja interpretacije te međuigre koja se naziva život. Jedna od njih je ples prostornih molekula. Barem ga je tako nazvao Graciano Dominici, s kim smo ples dogovorili ovdje, na rubu znanosti. Dobro večer. Graciano Dominici je liječnik, specijalist nutricionizma i fizičke rehabilitacije, ali danas razgovaramo o nečem pomalo srodnom, ali ipak više različitom od te djelatnosti, o jednom pristupu koji je nazvan, odnosno Dominici ga je nazvao ples prostornih molekula. Dobro večer.
Good evening and thank you.
Molim, možete li nam razjasniti taj kriptični naziv ples prostornih molekula? Na što se on u stvari odnosi? O čemu se u stvari radi?
Thank you for this question. And basically, dense space molecules is how I was perceiving the space of this class. This class is a combination of a lot of methodology, not only technique and modality, but methodology. So the way that you can be and you can reappropriate of your nature. I was perceiving as everything in the universe, science tells us, that is some elements, energy, space, and for someone it could be element X. For scientists, for example, some kind of law, some kind of rules. For someone is a consciousness, for someone could be God. I don't really go into that, but I was perceiving that everything that was in my universal physiology or in the nature was a kind of a play, a dance within the space, through the space of the molecules. If you think about it, as I conceptualize, everything is a space, and between a molecule to another there is just a space, and of course that is a system. And as every system depends which kind of frequency or energies and spaces, there are gonna be some laws or rules. So at the beginning was just space and molecules. Then I was conceptualizing, I was working with people, and it was like playing and dancing. I love your language, because in your language you can use both words, dance and playing, and you can use one word that means that exuberance of playing, that could be playing, and the exuberance of dancing. And I was kind of shocked and surprised, but really glad to hear that after 2 or 3 years that I already came up with this title, some colleague from Cambridge in a study, some scientist came out with, you know guys, this is how we perceive it, and it seems that the molecules are playing or dancing in the space, through the space, and everything that we call solid, actually, if we go in the with a microscope really deep inside, it seems that everything is just space with a lot of molecules, and everything is just between the space of the molecules. And that made me think of the universe, of the planet. So basically, for me, dense space molecules doesn't have to do anything with dancing, like a ballet or a professional dancer, but it's more like ease of living with your nature.
Dakle, cilj plesa prostornih molekula bi bila nekakva lakoća življenja Tu se provlače neki pojmovi koje bi bilo dobro rastomačiti da bismo vidjeli kakve to zapravo veze ima s nama, te molekule, šta da mi uopće s njima radimo. Pa sam primijetio da se često koristi izraz dominantni prostor kada se radi o osobi i onda se tu postavlja pitanje kako ući u njega, što raditi u njemu i slično. Na koji način ples prostornih molekula ima veze s čovjekom, kako ga uopće se treba primjenjivati, što je to dominantni prostor?
I'm really grateful for my formal studying, and you know that basically my medicine school or even before human studies, philosophy and everything that I was really passionate with and at. But I always thought that basically we are not just can get from the knowledge that is on the book, but we need to support the knowing that is something like a tree, something like life tree. And basically studying, in my opinion, is apply yourself to the living. So basically dense space molecules is just a commercial way that of like a methodology, like approach to give or give again to a person the freedom to express themselves without all the rules that maybe they don't have. I would like to say, for example, that a lot of time we have some kind of rules, some judgment, viewpoints, or some, let's say, points of view that actually are not even ours. Maybe they are from our society, maybe are from our parents, or maybe they don't apply really to us, but we are keeping going with that kind of stuff just because they taught us or we learn. So basically with dense space molecules, and again it's just a commercial way that I referring, I will ask to people to just start to dance or to play and consider and to doubt about everything that they learn, because what if everything that they learn was not really right for them or wasn't really wrong? So basically have a scientific approach. I always say don't believe, just trust. Trust and see what is working for you. You mentioned dominant space. Would you like me to talk a little more about the dominant space?
Bilo bi dobro.
Thank you. Yes, dominant space is the way or the question and the resolution that I came out with. And again, dominant space is just how I think about it. It's what I say, the nature, and doesn't have to be my dominant space or dominant space of someone else. For each one of us, we know what's our nature. I reconnect the dominant space at the space that is your home. Dominant, you may think that is something that, okay, I go out and I'm giving you the license to be arrogant or to impose, to push people with violence. No, actually it's not. It's the right opposite. Dominant, it's becoming from the word, Latin word dom, that means house. So basically becoming house, returning to your home, to your house, where you are the ruler and basically your nature, your physiology is the rules. Most of us knows that there are two major pushing or invitation, pleasure and pain. Basically when I say access, enter in your dominant space, I'm just asking you, you don't have to come to the class, you don't have to read books, you don't have to, you can if you like, but I'm asking you, can you recall your true nature? And maybe your nature is not so spoiled about point of view, judgments, or whatever, that we think we are.
Drugim riječima, dominantni prostor bi bio nekakav koncept u kojem bi svatko bio gospodar samom sebi, svojih nekakvih pravih želja, htjenja i na neki način postavljač pravila kojih će se držati umjesto onih koja su uvežena izvana. Na koji način se tom vlastitom prostoru koji se naziva dominantom pristupa? Naravno da bi svatko volio biti gospodar svemira, makar svojeg svemira, ako već ne cijelog svemira, da pače mnogi bi samog svog htjeli biti. Međutim, kako izbjeći i što se uopće može napraviti sa programima i konceptima koji su u nama oduvijek duboko isprepleteni smo, često se put pitamo što bismo uopće bili da nema tih koncepata, kao što ljudi koji imaju iskustvo blisko smrti kažu, eto još uvijek sam bio nešto, makar nisam više imao ni boju kože, ni rasu, ni starost, ni spol. Na koji način bi čovjek, kroz koje tehnike ili prakse mogao, kako vi to interpretirate, ući u taj dominantni prostor, odnosno biti na neki način u skladu sa samim sobom i stvaratelj vlastitih pravila?
You totally centered the point when you said become the master of your reality. My basic concept is you don't need no more masters. You don't need anything that is telling you how to be, how to look like, how to think. I mean, everything it's already new. As you said, you are enter in the space, or I metaphorically usually say embrace your true nature. And in my nature, instead of consider the pain as a bad thing, I will consider the pain as a light, as something that is giving me information. And we have the receptor that are telling us that the information is pain, but we have the same receptor compared to the intensity. Everything is according to the intensity. That is, they give us the same information, but when the intensity is lower, it becomes a pleasure. So I would say follow your pleasure. Follow whatever make you happy. Follow whatever it makes you joy. Follow what makes gratitude. And basically at the beginning it seems like Epicureanism. I mean, forget about everything, but if I just think about my happiness and my joy and my pleasure, I will end up with finish anything and never complete, and maybe abuse of stuff. Yes and no. Maybe that is your choice, and I'm not gonna judge it. But what I found out that basically when you are really free, with no point of view, with no external pushing, and you don't react, you don't align, you don't resist to your nature or whatever, you will know what to do and what to be. And your pleasure it's becoming a different conception, not just the momentary pleasure, the actual pleasure, but your pleasure become like, quote unquote, a path. Usually I'm not really interested in, but I can talk about the Santiago path. There are people that are expose themselves to really something that could be torture. They can walk and maybe they are not even ready, prepared. They can walk, they can suffer, their feet are bleeding, they are really tired, barely they eat, because they target, instead of goal, the target is go to Santiago. And it's walking through France or maybe Spain to the Portugal. And when they are doing this stuff, it was amazing to me when I asked them, so what's the best moment in this path? And they told me, when I saw Santiago. And when did you see Santiago? The right moment that I conceived it. Maybe I heard from a friend, maybe I watched on TV or whatever. You mean that your pleasure, it was already, the space of Santiago, it was already even before starting to walk? Mm-hmm. Yes, and all the starting to walk, all the decision that brought these people to do the Santiago path, the walking, it was all downhill when they start to walk, because the biggest part, the 90%, it was just be willing to do that. And all the other thing, the adventure, the continuum, was the physical realization of the Santiago path. So basically they and I'm talking about this, but probably we can find in our life. Basically, the Santiago path was when they conceive, they could perceive, they could achieve, and they were willing to receive. So when did they receive it? When they finally went to Santiago, when they were walking, or when they conceive?
U Kini postoji izreka kada si krenuo, već si stigao, što je u biti vrlo različito od onog kako se na zapadu zna reći bez muke nema nauke, no pain, no gain i slično. Također je do danas već i dosta jasno da mnoge bolesti psihičke, pa pogotovo one fizičke, one autoimune, nastaju kao jedna nemogućnost ili blokada da se čovjek izrazi na neki način koji mu je prirodan, mora raditi nešto ili si ne dopušta raditi ono što voli, pa se često puta ljudi pitaju kako da uopće znam što volim, ali na neki način i za to postoji relativno jednostavni odgovor koji bi se mogao nazvati slijedi put najveće strasti. Što ti je najuzbudljivije, to je najvjerojatnije to gdje trebaš ići. Također je zanimljivo i danas isto dosta dobro poznato u kojoj mjeri naši stavovi, dakle ne misle se na pozitivno razmišljanje samo po sebi, jer nitko nije rekao da taj put najveće strasti neće imati svoje prepreke, nego se radi o tome da na neki način naše tijelo, psiha su jedna cjelina i međusobno se usklađuju. Kada čovjek zgrčen, čak mu se i DNK može rastezati ili sažimati i slično. Na koji način se to naše tijelo, koje je neka vrst trodimenzionalnog televizora prema ovoj takozvanoj stvarnosti, na koji način ono recimo se mijenja? Čuli smo da može davati signale kroz bol ili tako nešto, u kojem smjeru bi trebalo ići. Kakve veze, dakle, i utjecaj takvih razmišljanja koje ste vi nazvali ples prostornih molekula na samo naše tijelo, što se ljudima zbiva, događa. Nećemo sad ići tako daleko da kažemo da je to nekakav lijek, a s druge strane morali bi se uopće zapitati što je uopće bolesti, da li postoji sama po sebi ili kao izraz nekakvih unutarnjih neizražavanja. Pa na koji način i što se događa tu recimo iz medicinske perspektive kad pričamo o našem tijelu, mišićima, koži, ukupnom fizičkom stanju organizma?
As you said, if you are looking for that, you don't know what it is. If you found it, you are not looking for that. Just to quote exactly what I usually say, and I'm gonna take from you your quote from Chinese culture. Yes, you mentioned so many things. I was starting with pleasure because pleasure actually brings up with ease to the path of happiness, to joy. Think about it. When you have pleasure, you're satisfied. When you're satisfied, basically, you have that deep serenity, even for a moment, of a space of joy, happiness, and basically gratitude. You mentioned some studies, because there are a lot of studies that if you can raise your frequency, and when I say raise or lower, I don't have point of view that one is bad, that one is wrong or good. I have the basic point of view of a scientist that, okay, let's see what is useful for your body. And you said before, gratitude, happiness, and all the system that got that kind of frequency, it seems that has less charge, less friction, less block, less resistant. So it seems that the system, the machine, that I don't like to call machine, it seems is on the body, and even more, it seems that they have their own intelligence, but let's say the machine, like a system, will work much better. And we found out that when you can stay enough time, you can live a slice of your life in what I call dominant space, but you could call satisfaction, pleasure, happiness, just to have a word to communicate with people. And basically your body, especially neuroscience will tell you that your body, your neurons will plastically mold, will modify themselves according with the stimulus that you are giving. The body doesn't have so many points of view. I mean, pain or pleasure, think about it. It's just the same receptor, signal, and the pain maybe it's higher in intensity, and the pleasure is subtle, or anyway it's working a different way. So when you are exposing or you creating, basically you can change, you transform your body according to the use. In physiology we say if you don't use it, you lose it. But there is the other side. If you use it in a certain way, your nature, your physiology, your body will change in that way. So your receptor of pleasure will come much more, let's say, improved. So at the beginning, you need satisfaction. After a while, when you are in your dominant space, when you are that attitude, that doesn't have anything to do with positive or negative. I would suggest something that it's usable or not usable, something that is useful for your body or your nature is not useful. And then you can choose whatever you want. But when you have this attitude, this approach, this space, when you are in the space and you allow your physiology to come, and it takes some space at some time, even your receptors are changing, even your physiology are changing, and maybe you stop to eat so much, or maybe you start to eat more. What do I mean? And thank you for pointing out, I never meant to talk about DS, dominant space, my new class, Ignite the Pleasure of Pure Joy and Happiness, or DSM. I never meant to use this as a medical cure. I always suggest go to your doctor, and your doctor will be really happy if you are happy. You know what I mean? I was in the second grade in the medical school, and we were talking about immunology, and our teacher were asking, what's the best way to raise the immunity system? And someone was telling, doing some antibodies or exposed to something, so the immunity system, especially when you're a child, whatever. I raised my hands and said, be happy. Obviously, they were laughing. They thought that I was a fool. Maybe they were right. But I always perceive that the ancient culture, the ancient script, were telling us something. Maybe you can call enlightenment. Maybe you can call deep serenity, or I will call dominant space, I will call pleasure. So it's possible, achievable, doable, and it really is, because the ease is the elegance of being with no friction, with no effort, and the maximum result of the pleasure. So basically that. So, and the time gave me, quote unquote, the ride. So happiness, yes, it could raise your immunity system. So we are referring even accordingly with the medicine, without substituting. It could make you happy, first of all. If it doesn't work as a rebalance your body, it will give you an attitude to, quote unquote, fighting. I would say embrace what is going on in a different way. And if by chance it gives you some, quote unquote, superpower, and if you like, we could talk about it, that you mention it, and if it by chance it's giving a little more, let's use it. So I don't have a point of view, use it or not, whatever it's working for you.
Hvala, vratit ćemo se opet za par minuta. Naime, Graciano Dominici svoje vježbe i seminare izvodio i u Zagrebu, gdje se moglo sresti neke ljude koje je taj koncept već i prije privukao, pa su se u njemu i pronašli.
Graciano Dominici je liječnik po profesiji, znači nutricionist i fizioterapeut, i u slobodno vrijeme, ajmo to tako nazvat, se bavi, internacionalni govornik je i ima svoju, ajmo to tako nazvat, ne bi ja to nazvala niti modalitet, niti tehnika, niti ništa, možda neki sinkronizam ili tako nešto pod nazivom DSM ili Dance Space Molecules ili Ples, prostorne molekule. Šta je to? Jako teško riječima opisati, zato što je svaki puta drugačije, jako teško je uloviti Šta je to? Zato što se bazira na trenutačno u tom trenutku kako se tečaj posloži. To je uglavnom, ajmo reći, dvodnevni tečaj, 6-dnevni tečaj, ovisi o tečaju.
Bilo je zabavno, bilo je radosno, bilo je, a sa nekakvim znanstvenim pristupom sa druge strane. I nisam znala što mi se desilo na samom tečaju. Međutim, poslije sam zapravo vidjela posljedice koje su se desile nakon tog samog tečaja. A to su promjene koje su se desile kod mene i u životu mojih najbližih.
A što ste radili na tečaju?
Zafrkavali smo se, smijali smo se, micali tijelo na neki način.
Zapravo u tom trenutku kada tečaj se događa, se stvara momentum u kojem onda on priča ono što svatko u toj publici treba čuti. Na način da ljudi dolaze, ja kad sam prvi puta došla sam mislila da priča samo meni, a bilo je još 100 ljudi oko mene u Kopenhagenu kad smo bili, i tako čitam svjedočanstva, već ajmo reći godinu dana surađujem s njim i čitam svjedočanstva sa svih kontinenata, bio je u Australiji, Americi, Europi i tako dalje. Uglavnom ljudi govore iste stvari, wow, ko da je pričao samo meni na webinarima kad imamo po par stotina ljudi. I na neki način kao da se prisjećaju onoga što su već znali od prije, ali nisu mogli tome pristupiti. Znači oni, ajmo reći, kao nekakav interfejs, sučelje da se mi prisjetimo onoga što već znamo. Znači on nama ne govori šta bismo mi trebali raditi, zato se tu razlikuje od tehnike, nego jednostavno nam dopušta da mi pristupimo onome što mi znamo o sebi i tako dalje.
Kad sam prvi put došla na Ples, prostor, molekule, pričali smo o svakodnevnim stvarima, o onome s čim se susrećemo u svakodnevnom životu i pristupili smo tome s nekakve druge strane, zabavne strane, i to smo se probali nekako transformirati i učiniti manje čvrstim, da zapravo se to sve promijeni s nekakvom lakoćom, da tog više zapravo nema, a i ako ima da bude nekako lagano i da prođemo kroz to kao da se ništa nije desilo.
Znači ta promjena lakoće je zapravo promjena perspektive?
Pa na neki način je, gledate, sve što se događa u životu se gledam s druge strane. Dakle, ništa ne gledam s isto, i ako uđem u nekakvu situaciju koja možda nije dobra, onda stanem i kažem ok, kako mogu to gledati s nekakve druge strane, i onda se bude nekako lakše i dobiješ nekakvo rješenje te situacije koja onda bude puno lakše nego onako kako si mislio da ćeš riješiti taj problem.
Uz to je izrazito smiješan, zabavan, i to sve ide na jedan zabavan način gdje kognitivni ne može uhvatiti taj trenutak, nego ne pokušavamo kognitivnim umom riješiti neke stvari na kratko vrijeme, čak i kad pokušavamo s kognitivnim umom riješiti se stvari na kratko vrijeme, ali na duže vrijeme to ne funkcionira. Zato je DSM na taj način drugačiji, i on ga predstavlja na taj način da jednostavno biće radi, tijelo radi, kinestetika radi sa tijelom, kinestetički radi sa tijelom, ali kognitivni je negdje pozadi. Znači on tu ne igra ulogu. Zato je teško opisati šta se događa, jer kognitivno opisati, da, nađemo se na, dok tečaj traje 2 dana, 3 dana, 2 sata, i onda jednostavno se zabavljamo. Sve zapravo se uglavnom bazira na radosti, užitku i tako dalje. Ne ide se kroz patnju, kroz suze, kroz traumu i dramu, znači nije bitno koje smo imali ograničenja prije tog tečaja, nego šta bismo sad mogli, kako bi se sad mogli s tim zabaviti.
Što znači Ples, prostor i molekule? Znači da isto tako Graciano koristi svoje tijelo, odnosno naša tijela, da unutar tijela pokušavamo naći neki problem koji je izvan tijela i da tijelo bude kao sučelje rješavanju tog problema. Tako da nekad se treba ustati, promiješati tijelo, malo detektirati gdje bi se taj problem unutar tijela našeg nalazio. Evo.
Kad ga nađete usred tijela, što onda?
Pa fizički ga pokušavamo izvaditi i pogledati sa drugih nekakvih strana, malo promiješati i stvarno osjećaj nakon toga je drugačiji i lakši.
Da bismo izbjegli kognitivni um, jako puno se radi sa tijelom. Zato što onda ne moramo znati šta radimo i ne kontroliramo, nego tijelo već zna šta raditi. Tu dolazi i njegova, ajmo reći, profesionalna isto tako strana, zaleđe i jako puno iz znanstvenoga što on zna se pojavljuje da i to se sve onda nekako upari i zapravo ljudi, ja mogu pričati o sebi, znači od gubitka težine do puno zdravstvenih problema koji su bili znači na testovima krvnim i tako dalje se vide razlike. Znači od, ajmo reći, toga da tijelo postaje fleksibilnije, lakše, ja bih čak rekla na neki način mlađe, kao da opet smo klinci, veseli smo, radosni smo ujutro kad se dižeš, si veseo, više nisi u depriji i tako dalje. Znači, to je ono što se meni dogodilo, znači da jednostavno od prije 2 godine ili prije godinu dana kad bih morala ići redovito na preglede, pit nekakve tablete, štitnjača, krv i tako dalje, to sve sada na neki način se transformiralo da to više ne utječe na moj život.
Kada pričamo o dominantnom prostoru koji se zapravo može shvatiti kao jedno stanje čovjeka u kojem na neki način on vlada svojim mehanizmima, a ne nešto izvana, tu uvijek dolazimo do starog pitanja svijesti, podsvijesti. Svojevremeno je autor poznate knjige Biologija vjerovanja Bruce Lipton rekao da je podsvijest divovski kazetofon koji samo snima i reproducira, pa zbog toga i nema puno svrhe u onom komariću svijesti zamišljati, ne znam, ružičasti Porsche ili slično s obzirom na toliko programa iz podsvijesti. Kako se uopće čovjek može postaviti na neki način tako da mu njegova podsvijest postane dostupna? Neki idu kod psihijatra, neki jednostavno meditiraju i slično. Kako vi gledate na odnos svijesti i podsvijesti s obzirom da je najveći dio nas nama ipak cijelo vrijeme nekako nevidljiv, skriven, ima puno slojeva i teško ih je sve ogoliti da bi se otkrilo ono doista što se nalazi unutra nevezano uz te slojeve. Kako gledate na svijest i podsvijest?
And I really love the Bruce Lipton work as Greg Braden as well, because they are really, let's say, courage, because they are bringing out a lot of studies that basically they start even the last century about a lot of things, but it seems that no one else so far were pride enough to show that medicine or science is really doing giant step to embrace different things that even ancient culture are already know and they are already telling in a different way. Everyone is a filter. You were mentioned the conscious and the subconscious. In my point of view, and I'm not a psychiatric, so please get it if it's working for you. In my point of view, we have the cognitive mind that is a part of our mind, and for the science they record and register it's 1% up to 5% of the whole being, and it's processed really fast, but it's processed something like 1 million times less fast than what you call subconscious or superconscious. In this occasion, I will call it the being. The being is 95% or 99% and is really fast. So what do I mean with this? You were mentioning beliefs. You were mentioning something that we trust. I was talking about point of view. In my opinion, consciousness, it's everything. I mean, as I said before, someone will call consciousness, someone else God, or the creator. I don't really go into that. In my opinion, consciousness includes everything, doesn't exclude anything. what it fruitful for us, what we come to fruition is our awareness. Awareness, I describe this usually consciousness. You can say you in a dark room, so basically everything is already lit. Awareness is the ease of turning the light. You're knowing that is zero consciousness, and you're using your being, your way to be, to turn on the light. So we always bet on the mind, the cognitive mind. We are in a society where we always want to know how and why. And don't get me wrong, I'm really curious, and I always like to know how and why. But as I always said, sometimes it doesn't matter if why and how. I mean, if you get with the points why, the reason or the justification, why something happening to you or not, and how something happened to you or not, because I was quote-unquote cursed, and of course I'm joking, or because my DNA got some problem, because my familiarity with this and that. You know that. Somebody has already told you, but that doesn't mean that you are gonna find a cure or you're gonna find a solution to what you call problem. So basically, instead of focus on the problem or the why and how, because our mind, as you said, is recording. If I tell you, please don't think about the pink Porsche that is going straight to the highway, you will end up to think about the pink Porsche, and you're gonna empowering the pink Porsche. But if I tell you, now imagine, or you are in the park, or you are in the wild ocean, most likely you're not gonna think about the pink Porsche. So if I wanna bring you, or actually the person can use his nature, bring you in a space of ease with everything, and I would like to bring you in the ocean, I'm not going to suggest you what not to do, because we have so many mechanisms and really designed and really improved through the centuries and even more to get what we are focused on. Usually I do some example, but I think that it's kind of easier. So a lot of time I will use a colleague technique that is a 3 minutes technique, or I will use a lot of time. I'm thinking about Newton that come out with the relativity theory while he was sleeping, because an apple fall down in his head. Or I'm thinking about Einstein. They were really looking for a solution. They were really studying the box of the problem, and when they felt exhausted, or they felt that they could achieve all data without point of view, without saying, I'm failing because I'm not finding the solution. No, I having the outcome that doesn't fit the space I'm looking for. Then they were distract themselves, have fun, pleasure, relax, and they allow what you call subconscious, and I would call your being, your wellness, or your brilliance, the genius inside you, to bring you to fruition, at least the idea. You can call creativity, you can call whatever you like. Yeah. So basically, I'm not telling you be superficial and don't be bothered. I will tell you, don't be bothered, but one step more. Go deep in the thing. Take analysis, do the analysis, or take every information you can as you were attached, they attached. I mean, it's important for you, but it's not so relevant. A relevancy, it's a lot of charge with that.
Što se zbiva na tim, ne znam ni kako bih to nazvao, nešto toga su seminari preko weba, nešto toga je čitanje, nešto toga su i nekakve vježbe koje na neki način nalikuju nekim vrstama vježbi koje se mogu naći u nekim sistemskim konstelacijama, neke druge se mogu naći u nekakvim meditacijama i slično. Od čega se u praksi sastoji to što ste nazvali ples prostornih molekula? kada bismo mogli s ovog teoretskog koncepta malo preći na praktični, s obzirom da se tu spominju i pokreti tijela, kao što sve kod nas ima povratnu spregu, tako je logično da ako misli ili emocije utječu na tijelo, da se isto tako tijelom može potaknuti ili mijenjati stanje čovjeka. Na kraju krajeva već samo bavljenje sportom recimo potiče lučenje endorfina, hormona sreće, što je recimo banalni primjer i ne toliko suptilan. Na koji način i što se u stvari, uvjetno rečeno, radi u okviru tog koncepta plesa prostornih molekula?
Actually, you mentioned the endorphin, and when we are talking about pleasure or satisfaction, basically endorphin is the ruler or the king, the kingdom, the lord of the dominant space of the pleasure. Yes, absolutely. And as you said, sometimes it could label as a state of mind. I would call a space, because it brings out of the mind. As you said before, and I said before, basically mind can register and can know what already got to know. So in order to learn new stuff, you have to chunk down, divide this assembly and put in folder that you already know. Basically, so to know something new, you have to chunk, to cut, put in an order and match all. A really long process. That's why probably the cognitive mind is so slow. So I found out, and basically when I say found out, I'm using, because I don't have the point of view that I'm a creator. Maybe for me it's not important to create new stuff, but to use and maximize what we got already. So I could label myself, if I can, innovator, or someone that is really practical. And so thank you to bring my attention to practicality. I will talk, I'm Italian, you know, I talk with all my body, I talk with my hands, I talk too much. So my classes, my workshop, and actually our workshop of the people, because I will be there waiting, quote unquote, after a little theory for what they can bring up, because everything in the universe is built through the contribution of everyone. So in my class, I'm not the special taste or ingredients, people are, and they contributing with, they are coming with their question and with what they know. I usually involve, you mentioned thoughts, feeling, emotion. If we can map thoughts, we could say in the mind, feeling, we could say the heart or some center, and sensation, emotion, let's talk about later if you like, but basically you're right. Whenever you are too emotional, you are not really logic, right? Your mind doesn't really work that way. Maybe it can exponentialize the trauma, the feeling victim or whatever. But if you start to say something that is break down the pattern, at least your mind is gonna quit a little bit, or it's entertained by some logic or recursive pattern. So it's like a labyrinth, and involved with the kinesthetic modality, basically moving, involving some kind. You mentioned the meditation. It's not just the meditation. I love meditation, and it's, in my opinion, it's really useful way to quote unquote self-help. We measure people that were moving with exercise. The exercises are designed to give more space of them and go out the mind. Sometimes they do cognitize, but they don't feel it anymore. Their approach is different. Maybe it's not real change, but it's transformed because they are different persons, so the approach is going to be different. So I will involve the walking, the dancing if you like, the singing, or the movement. The movement, it's more important. It's a lot important. And sometimes movement, it can be just the movement of the hands and give a job to your body. Actually, the body is an interface to keep and use a lot of resources that, if we are just in the mind, are not gonna work. For example, there is an exercise when I say, okay, where do you feel? They say, I had this problem. I said, okay, where do you feel? Most likely they paying attention to their body, so basically they are in the body and not only in the mind. And you could quote a lot of meditation, a lot of traditional teachings, and they say, it's not in my body, so basically it's not yours. So why are you, and why is not too cognitive, but to allow the logic to be digest. So why are you making them greater than you and real if it's not yours? Okay, and already the question is opening a new infinite possibilities for the subconscious or even for the logic. Or if it's in the body, I would ask, can you please physically move? A lot of people try to do with the head. It's cool, but it's okay with the mind. But you are still in the mind. If you physically move, and you could probably think that you are silly. And I always say, yes, you are silly because your adult person or adult child is looking the child that is having fun, that is the creative, emotional, or whatever, and basically just by the willingness to do this silly stuff and to see, extrapolate from your body, basically you already transform your attitude. And then a lot of time just we play with that, we do a lot of things, or just observe it and be aware of your breathing. Nature, you came in this planet breathing. Why a lot of time we don't consider the master tool of the life? Without breathing, we will never survive. We will never thrive. And so just be aware of your breathing and look the space of what you consider your problem, that actually, is it always your problem? Is it an eternal problem? Sometimes it's transformed. Sometimes just breathing. So as I will, if I can do a little commercial against my class, you don't need this class, and basically you don't need anything. Could you just start...
Samo valja, koliko sam shvatio, dosta dobro ponijeti pluća sa sobom. Dobro.
And be willing to use them.
Da, tako je. Znači, to smo, bojim se, osuđeni. Dobro, u svakom slučaju, Graciano, hvala na razgovoru i nadam se da ćete se dalje dobro snalaziti u vašem vlastitom dominantnom prostoru, kao i svi ostali ljudi, i do neke sljedeće prilike. Doviđenja i sretan put gdje god vas on vodi.
Thank you, Crescio. Thank you for everyone that is watching. Thank you for my translator, Lovra, or Lorenzo, and all people that are contributing to me. Thank you.
Sad ste ga odali, naš prevoditelj je uvijek inkognito. Samo tajanstveni glas u uhu. Ali eto.
Oh, sorry, Sonja.
Da. U svakom slučaju, puno je ključeva oko nas za različite brave, jer svatko od nas zapravo jest nekakva individualna brava, pa taj ples prostornih molekula, kako je Graciano Dominici nazvao svoj pristup, splet je mnogo toga, na neki način poznatog, na neki način spojenog u neko novo i drugačije ruho. No za večeras je ostalo još samo vremena za laku noć.